Blog Talk Radio.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed, into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of Mindfulness on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
Grand Rising. We thank you all for being with us this Monday morning. And we appreciate all of you who get up early in the morning to join this daily think tank. Continue to work toward changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of The Female Solution, and today you are listening to Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. And we're going to get an opportunity to think deeply about a philosophy that has had an impact on the way we conduct affairs
in this country and around the world. The Marines' core creed that God, country, and family are first priority or number one priority in life. What is the significance of Attorney Michael Cohen's comment that, quote, his family are his first priority? You may not think much of this statement, but after you hear the breakdown of what it really means by Community Cultivation's founder, Lionel Abdul Haaque, it will make you think twice about everything you hear on the news. And you thought mainstream media has your best interest at heart by showing you what's going on in the world. Think again. You do not want to miss this episode of Higher Learning. And if you have received our text message, we ask you please share, because the more people that we can enlighten and inform and transform, the faster our world will reach that point of transformation. That is the direction we're going in, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. And so this morning think tank gives us an opportunity to examine our belief systems and our indoctrination so that we can dismantle beliefs and behaviors that are self-destructive and recreate the society that's based on cooperation, sharing, and a true desire for the well-being of all. Once we have that goal in mind, then our society will create structures that support that idea. Right now, we're living in a society in which we've been indoctrinated to think of it as an us against them situation, meaning there's an enemy somewhere that we always have to be on guard against and fight against and protect ourselves against and ultimately destroy if we can't control. That thought is part of the American indoctrination system, that other people are the enemy that we are competing against. And we start with that indoctrination very early in life, from the time we are 2 years old and sent to Sunday school, from the time we start to be conscious of what we're seeing on the cartoons. We're very craftily created to reflect an American cultural society that made it very clear that this country was correct, America was correct, and everybody else was the other people that were made fun of. And we remember those images. You see the Asian person with the slanty eyes and the big teeth and, ultra polite. Oh, so sorry, bowing and everything. And they would make fun of them. And we saw those cartoon images and we laughed because it was subliminal indoctrination in our minds as children. Or you see the Arab-looking person with a head wrap on and kind of evil-looking and maybe slightly unshaven and, speaking with a foreign accent. And, again, you look at it and you laugh because they're making fun of people. Oh, and let's not forget the African natives. Now, here we are, black people, and we're laughing at these, images of black people with spears and, running in fear when they'd see a lion or something. And of course, you'd had Tarzan to come and show his strength as the great white man. We look at that and we laugh, but it was the subliminal indoctrination. So when we would see someone like Superman, and he was the embodiment of the strong white male that could conquer everything, we identified with that. We identified with heroes like the Lone Ranger. So when the society wants to indoctrinate the minds of children. They used television as a means to create a desire to be a part of the accepted group of people that are considered the proud, the noble people that you want to accept you and you want to be a part of. Even comedy shows like Gomer Pyle, and Gomer Pyle was the U.S. Marine, and he was this country bumpkin that wanted to be something noble and something that represented strength and honor. And so he became a Marine, even though he was always fumbling and this country bumpkin that made mistakes and acted goofy. In each episode, it would turn out where he would do something and he would help people, and you would see that he really had a good heart, and, you know, he was a likable, lovable character. And all along you'd see the pride and the strength and the honor of being a Marine. And this was very strong indoctrination. All of those so-called family values. Of course, on Gomer Pyle, you never did see them in combat killing people or dragging in wounded people. You didn't see that because that wasn't the purpose of that show. The purpose of that show was to indoctrinate you into the idea of the Marines' core creed, that God, country, and family are the number one priority. And noble men follow this creed. But of course, it's not about the other people's family, the other people's country, or the other people's God. It's about the American reflection of God, country, and family. The program that we watched as children was meant to indoctrinate us into this idea that our Marines, our military, Army, Navy, Marines, they're all designed to protect this wonderful American society that represents freedom. And it's worth dying for. And if you want the honor of of your family, and if you want to serve God, then you protect your country. That indoctrination was very skillfully woven into the television shows that we watched. As soon as television became a very common medium for teaching and indoctrination. When televisions first came out, what was it, maybe in the 40s, whatever, and then by the 50s became the thing that every household has to have, just like now, every household has to have a computer because everything is computerized. Well, you know, there was a point when the culture dictated that every household have a television. And this television was the means whereby we were indoctrinated into this way of thinking. The television is such a powerful tool of indoctrination that we learn to believe that if you saw it on TV, it is the truth, because that would be the standard. Well, it must be true. I saw it on TV. And we, in our innocence and naivety, never thought that people lie, just like we don't think that people lie about a book that they say is the teachings of God. We can't wrap our minds around the thought that people will lie and misrepresent what happened historically and then attribute it to our Creator and then force people to follow and believe it without question. And this is the state of affairs when it comes to the Bible. But people lie all the time in order to get their way. And we have to be sophisticated enough to understand that, because we're built with an internal guidance system that always tells us when something isn't right. Always. Everybody has it because it's your direct connection to your Creator. And you feel when something is not right. So when you live in a society that indoctrinate you, to override your internal guidance system, follow beliefs that cause you to accept hurting other people and misusing other people, then you end up with a society like we have, one that is in turmoil. This past weekend here in Chicago, the world saw a large group of protesters choose to use their energy of anger at the state of violence to shut down a major expressway during the Saturday morning traffic. And it was a statement, and it was intended to call attention to the crisis. But there were many responses to that decision to use that method of attention getting in order to make a point. There are a lot of things we were there, and there are a lot of things that we discovered about that. But one of the things we have to also closely examine, when we are angry and we desire to make a change, we have to look at what do we have within our power right now without addressing any government figure or any religious leader. What do we as a collective group of individuals have within our power to do to manifest the change we want to see? And what we already have is what we need. We already have everything we need to make the desired change. We don't see it because of the indoctrination. We don't see it because we have been indoctrinated. We have been brainwashed to believe that other people control the reality that we're experiencing, because that's the power that television has, to give you the impression that things are controlled by other people with greater power than yourself, and you can't change the conditions of your life. So as long as enough people believe that, then they will manifest that. This is why television was such a powerful tool for indoctrination, because you could reach many, many people simultaneously. So now we have the internet, and we can go online and we can be connected all over the world. There are no geographical boundaries now. So we have in our hands the tool which would free our minds from this indoctrination. But just as we have the tool in our hands, so do the people who have the intention to keep us mentally controlled have it in their hands. So which of us is going to triumph? The people who are seeking to maintain control of our minds, or the people who are choosing to free themselves and create a society based on sharing, cooperation, and sincere desire for the well-being of others? Earth is a free will planet where you can choose to create whatever society you want, and whatever you are experiencing is what you chose to create, because your actions manifested your reality. If we don't like what we see, then all we have to do is change the way we treat each other. And this system of discrimination and intentional impoverization and denial of access to knowledge, all of that will disappear. So each person is raised by participating in conversations like this and others that are happening all around the world, are helping to change the reality that we experience and are helping to undo the indoctrination. And it is very heavy indoctrination, because if you're a young person growing up and you've been teased and you've been laughed at and you've been called ugly and stupid and you feel bad, you want to be accepted by a group of people that are admired. You want to be a part of a group that are honored and held in high esteem. So if a military officer is given the kind of admiration and the reputation of being a noble human being that is helping to protect our country and is respected by his family and is serving God, all of those great noble things, that's what you want to be. And so you join. And because your indoctrination throughout your entire life has been that the other people who don't look like you and who don't speak like you and live somewhere else are the enemy, you can be indoctrinated and brainwashed into killing them to serve someone else's economic agenda. But your internal guidance system tells you that there's something wrong about killing someone, and you don't even understand what the conflict is about. So you have to suppress that voice, muzzle the mouth of your conscience so that you can't hear the rebuke that's coming to you when you take lives of people you don't know. You have to justify the wrong that you're committing because your soul is telling you are violating us. This person is all a part of us. We're all connected. We're one. You're destroying something that's a part of you. You have to ignore that. And sometimes it means taking drugs to numb the thoughts and feelings of shame. So many of our veterans are drug addicts, having to numb themselves of the memories of horror of war. But you're not going to see that on Gomer Pyle. What you're going to see is a noble man who serves God, protects his country, and is valued by his family and community because he's a Marine. So stand the intention of those who indoctrinate us and understand the tools that they are using, because now we have those same tools in our own hands. So we have the power to free ourselves. I'm going to take a call before we take a break. And got a whole bunch of listeners on the switchboard today and a whole lot more listening online. If you want to join our conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. After our 7:30 break, you're going to hear from Community Cultivation's founder, Lionel Abdul Haaque. And what he has to share will make you think twice about everything you hear on the news. Our Monday morning host, Zelda Speaks, will be joining us, and we want to hear from you. Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you want to speak so we can get your thoughts. Now, don't wait till the last minute because, I always get calls from people saying, well, I called in, but I didn't hardly get a chance to say anything. Well, don't wait till 10 minutes to 9. We go off at 9, and just so you know, we played a little go-off the air music at 2.5 minutes to 9. So don't wait till the last minute to figure out what you want to say. We want you in this first hour to be a part of the conversation so that you can get your whole thought out and everything and give you a chance to say all that you need to say so you don't feel like you're being rushed to hurry up and say what you got to say and stop talking so we can leave. We want you to participate early enough so that you feel like you had a chance to express your whole thought. So I believe we have Brother Kufi on the line. You got a good 5 minutes to share your thoughts before we take a break. Grand Rising.
Morning. Shalom. This March, this is exactly what I'm talking about, what I saw as a little kid growing up with civil rights. I saw that fake stage situation. They had men out there with signs saying, I'm a man. Okay? We're not going backwards, Naima. They're not going to take us back to this Jim Crow. Okay? We are indigenous people, 2020 census, claim myself as Native Indigenous people, so that way we can show the world that we are woke. We are not just no former slaves, but we are people from this land. Now, you all going to get it in a minute. You all going to understand what I'm saying. They're trying to stage, and you got a white guy doing it. That's why I knew it was phony. White people are about to take our movement that we've started, and they want us to continue to march and get aggressive so they can arrest you and do all kind of things and get you, like you said, to hurt somebody, to create an environment of hurt and violence. That's what they're trying to do. And we look at it and say, no, I'm afraid for the one, Maxine Waters, calling for all this stuff, trying to create civil war, okay, in America. And we have people whose minds are being controlled right now. They are puppets, and they don't know no better, and they letting somebody else control them, and that's where we at. That's where we at. People are being controlled. It's like, wow, you being controlled. That's why it's important to have God in you. Because if you don't have God in you, somebody's going to come along and deceive you and have you doing things and controlling things, and you don't even know why.
So now I've got a question for you, because I totally understand your point. But what I notice is that people have this anger and frustration, and they really don't know what to do. So they feel like marching down the street and stopping traffic was doing something. Instead of doing that, what do you suggest they should be physically doing, not just thinking about who they are, but physically doing to change the situation? What is your suggestion?
I joined the independent party. Okay, I'm trying to become the chairman in Illinois.
And then after you join the party,
now I got other brothers sprouted to another state. Now these brothers are going to City Hall asking the mayor for land and homes for the people. He got people lined up, sitting on the ground, waiting to meet the mayor. Because I joined the independent party, he did. Now we got a voice now. We don't have to go through the Democrats or Republicans. We can have a voice. I do business with Democrats. I do business with Republicans. It's all a game. So I joined the independent party so I can have a voice, and that's empowering me right now. You know, and in partnership with people. My boy gave me land. I'm putting a house out there. I'm helping people get jobs. I just got a sister a job who was selling herself. She was prostituting. I knew her from a long time ago. I said, what's going on? I gave her a job. I gave her a number to go get a job. She's going to call today to get the job. Okay, I'm doing things are happening. Be involved, partnership with people. They're trying to divide us so we can't partnership. That's the whole game, Naima. If I can get these people, everybody thinking every man for himself, that's when they can come in and do anything we want to do. We have to continue to stay together collectively, help each other, you know, share resources and information, okay? And we have to stay together. That's why they can never, ever destroy, and their plan, their agenda can never work when we're divided. A lion comes or a tiger comes to divide one of the deer away from the flock. That's the one he's going to get.
That's true.
So if you stay with the flock, the agenda can never, ever, ever succeed. Isn't that powerful?
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for your thoughts. We're going to take a break and explore that idea. What does unity look like? What does togetherness look like? And what activities should we be doing? I mean, we were very unified in this march, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, you know, I don't know how many thousands of people were part of it, but they also had many law enforcement officers who were getting paid to be there. And so our statement was a means of helping them get a paycheck on a Saturday morning when they normally probably would not have been assigned to work. How did that help us? Well, if we can show unity in walking down the expressway, what other things can we show unity in doing that would actually change the situation? Well, we're going to take a break. If you're listening online and want you to join this conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325. Press 1 when you're ready to speak, and stay on the switchboard if you're going to press 1. You know, we're going to come right to you when we come back from this break. And so if you have something to say, we want you to call in and press 1, 515-605-9325. After the break, we'll be joined by our Monday morning host, Zelda Speaks. Stay tuned for Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. And our guest today, Community Cultivation's founder, Lionel Abdul Haaque. We'll be right back, so stay with us.
You are tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in this city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage, or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us breathe literary life into the South Side of Chicago.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection.
Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on Cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. And other cities, check your local cable listings. Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
Do you need to borrow money to buy or fix a house? Call Spartan Holdings, LLC, Real Estate Investment and Consulting. We'll help you build your individual and corporate credit so you can get the money you need to pay for whatever you want, from home improvement to business equipment. I'm John Worthy, CEO of Spartan Holdings, LLC, a veteran-owned business. Call us at 773-869-5805. Again, that's 773-869-5805, or you can reach me via email at spartanholdingsllc, the number 64, at gmail.com. Thanks.
Hey, my name is Dolphin Norris. I'm with Life Builders United. You can reach us on lifebuildersunited.org. Our theme is to build families, to build community. Our philosophy is on a four-legged stool of self-sufficiency, and that is build where you live, grow what you eat, sew what you wear, and buy where you own. That ends slavery. Thank you.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Chicago have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change. With your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for mayor for the city of Chicago.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us this morning on The Female Solution, How You're Learning with Zelda Speaks. Welcome to your Monday morning mindfulness. To start your week off with mindfulness stress relief session. Hope your weekend was long enough and cool enough. Today's topic is the Marines Corps Creed. Is it real, and how does it affect you? If you just joined us, the Marine Corps Creed, that God, country, and family are first priority or number one priority in life. What is the significance of Attorney Michael Cohen's comment that, quote, his family and his country are his first priority? You may not think much of the statement, but after you hear what Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque has to say, he breaks it down of what it really means. And this will make you think twice about everything you hear on the news. I certainly am not a news person. Excuse me, as I was trained to be in the newsroom when studying broadcasting before I got my degree from Columbia College, and I'm very glad I had the opportunity to see the chaos in the newsroom, and it never felt right. You know, when you trust your instincts, things will tell you when things don't feel right, and I just did not feel comfortable in that arena. Even though I knew that newscasters made a whole lot more money than people in radio per se, it just didn't feel right. And when you're uncomfortable, you cannot make yourself comfortable in a situation that does not feel right. So I am very grateful. Even though I heard stories of how people were making $200,000, $300,000, $1 million a year in news, I look back on that time and I can't. Remember's not the word. I can't believe that I made that decision at such an early age to give up the possibility of earning that kind of money, but also having to deal with the chaos that goes on in the newsroom. Anything you've ever seen on television about a newsroom is that experience time 10. So that's what you'll get today, is that experience time 10 when we speak to Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque. And you'll understand why you need to take a second look and a third look at the news. But if you want to join the conversation this morning, you're listening online, be sure and send your comments and suggestions to my Facebook page, Zelda Speaks. And if you'd like to comment on Twitter and Instagram, it's available there as well. Today's trivia prize is the Mindfulness Stress Relief 21-Day Home Practice Journal. If you would like to win that, all you have to do is tell us the title of the show today. And I've already told you, so it's really easy for you to win. So keep that in mind if you'd like to practice these stress relief techniques that we'll be sharing throughout this morning. I would like to invite you to set your VCRs, I'm sorry, I'm old school, your DVDs, your DVDRs. Am I saying that wrong? Set your DVRs for Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19 to see the Higher Learning Network TV show. That's Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19. You can always see clips of them at higherlearningnetwork.org. Now, as we begin this morning, let us take time to quiet ourselves, find a nice quiet spot where we will not be interrupted, and we will begin this morning's meditation with our breathing technique, in which we will sit up straight and erect so that the energy can flow easily from the spine, feet flat on the floor, eyes closed, nothing on our minds and in our hearts but the breath, concentrating on the breath. As we begin, we will count to 6, hold it, and release, breathing out to the count of 6. So let us begin the process. Inhale deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us continue breathing, counting to ourselves. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now continue breathing to yourself. Breathing and counting to yourself. Giving thanks for the breath. Because we may take this breathing exercise for granted, but someone somewhere whose lungs or throat or trachea is impaired does not have the freedom to breathe on their own. That alone is enough to give thanks. As we continue breathing, we give thanks that the breath that we breathe give us love, light, and energy. Because every breath that we breathe in sends a signal to the brain that sends signals to the rest of the body that all really is well in our world, despite the chaos that is going on in the world. It is this thought and these kinds of thoughts that will keep us centered and calm in the midst of any and all chaos. Inhale deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this time as we breathe in, feel the chest inflate as you inhale and hold it. And as you exhale, if you like, put your hand on your stomach to remind yourself that you're blowing air out of your nostrils. If at all possible, always breathe through the nose. If not, simply breathe as you can. Inhale deeply, giving thanks for the air that is reverberating and energizing and circulating and percolating in the heart, liver, and lungs. Give thanks for the breath. And as you inhale, give thanks for the air that is circulating in the spine, in the colon, in the pancreas. Inhale deeply, giving thanks from the top of your head down through the eyes, nose, ears, lips, chin, neck, and shoulders. Blessing each and every fiber, muscle, ligament, and tendon in your body. Still counting to yourself. Inhale deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And as you exhale, remember to push that air out long and strong to release all negativity, all thoughts of lack, limitation, fear. Release. This time as you inhale, repeat to yourself, I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole, yes I am. And as you exhale, I release, let go, and let God. One more time. Inhale deeply. Repeat those words to yourself. I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole and complete. Oh, yes, I am, just as I am. And release. I release, let go, and let God. This time as you inhale, give thanks for the hips and thighs and the buttocks as they carry you forth throughout the day. As you inhale this time, give thanks for the knees, the kneecaps, the shins, the legs, the ankles, the feet, the toes, the arch that you may or may not have. This time, as you breathe in, take a long, deep breath and give thanks for that, this vehicle that carries you throughout the day. There may be some pain, and there may be some inconveniences within the body. But you give thanks because this is the engine, the vehicle that carries you throughout the world. And as you take time to give it a daily tune-up, it will carry you even further. Inhale deeply. As you inhale, feel the chest rise and the glory of the day awaits you through the breath. And as you exhale, release, let go, and let God. And these last few seconds as we breathe in. I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole and complete, especially if you don't feel it. Say it anyway, because you're sending signals to the brain, which sends signals to the body, which energizes the atoms and the cells, because you are giving it directions on how to be. Yes, you are in control of all of that with a simple breath. Let's try it again. Inhale deeply. I am happy, healthy, whole, and complete. And don't forget the words, I am. And as you exhale, release, let go, and let God. Let's try that again. Let's use the two most powerful words on the planet. I am. I am happy. Say it out loud. I am healthy. Say it out loud. I am whole and complete. Hold it. And exhale. I release, let go, and let God. I release, let go, and let God. Now take one more long, deep inhale. Breathe in. Hold it. And exhale. And as you exhale, bring the head forward, chin to chest. And slowly rotate the head to the left. Slowly, slowly, slowly. You're moving too fast. Slowly bring the head around to the back. Slowly, slowly, in very small increments. It's making your head to the right. Slowly, just over the right shoulder right about now. Slowly, still breathing. Long, deep breaths. And slowly bringing the head back around to the front. Chin to chest. And reversing it, turning the head, leaning the head over to the right. Slowly, slowly, slowly bringing it around to the back. You should just be getting to the back of your neck. slowly bringing it to the left. Slowly, 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 just reaching the left. Slowly, and bringing it around to the front. Chin to chest. Head straight up. Take a nice long deep breath. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And as you exhale, turn the head to the left, back to front, and to the right. And take a long, deep breath and give thanks for the breath. Take 2 more long, deep breaths. Now, how does that feel? Do you feel energized? Of course you do. Now, this is something that you can practice on a daily basis, alone, anytime, any place. Especially, especially when you are presented with an occasion and an opportunity that tries to decenter you, to keep you off point. Well, this is the exercise you can do. And all you have to do is begin breathing. I had someone share with me that they were attacked in a hospital, mentally that is, and they started breathing. And the person looked at them as if they had lost their mind. But guess what? The person walked away because they started breathing, and I guess they thought they were going to faint or fall out or something. But they walked away, and they left them alone. So I know this practice works. I've done it, and I'm sure that you've done it. And if you haven't done it, please try it. It works. And if you have any resemblance of garlic or ginger or something foul-smelling on your breath, I promise you they will not be in your face for a very long time. So keep that in mind. So try that exercise. And whenever you are feeling a little out of sorts, uncomfortable or fearful or afraid to make the next step forward, you simply start breathing. And if you can, say something positive to yourself, about yourself out loud. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete. I have everything I need right here, right now, and I give thanks. And I give thanks for you this morning for practicing that exercise with me. And when you call in, please feel free to share what your experience has been like today of doing that exercise. And please feel free to share it with someone. You can go to my YouTube page, Zelda Speaks Mindfulness, and take a look there. There are always comments and little tips for those who are not familiar with it, as well as you can join the newsletter that I send out on a weekly basis of inspirational conversations. And it's a newsletter of information and conversation that you may not hear elsewhere. So I only send it out on Mondays after the morning show, and you can go to the website zeldaspeaks.com and just send in your information. I have the honor to share with you from the Daily Reading Inspirational Conversations. This is Volume 2 with Shalom with Israel. Now, today is the 9th, but I will be taking it from July 5th. And this is something that I wrote years ago, so it may be, you'll hear something. I talk about my days at Gospel Radio 1390, but it's a point. And it says, what a weekend. Hot, humid, and lots of fun in Chicago. I attended my high school reunion with fellow Walarians, which is now Lincoln Park High School on the north side. It was great to see people whom I hadn't seen in over 25 years. We laughed and joked about the fun names we used to call each other, like Butch and Noodles, Big Booty Denton, Saucy Salisbury, and a few others I can't mention. We even took a group photo for the class of 1975, and we marveled at how most of us still look the same after all those years. Well, as the evening progressed, I heard a conversation that saddened me. Some of the mothers spoke about how their sons had been incarcerated, many of them for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. It made me think back to a conversation I had with one of my colleagues, Karen Fletcher from Gospel Radio 1390, whom she said her son Isaac was recently pulled over and harassed by the police as he was getting ready to go to football practice. The officer who searched him and found nothing on him, not even a pocket knife, asked the question, "When was the last time you were arrested?" The officer was startled when Isaac replied that he'd never been arrested. He refused to believe it and began to search the car, tearing off the armrest in the front seat and leaving the car in a shambles. When Isaac returned home and told his mother of the incident, she was simply outraged. Not outraged that the front seat of the car had been ransacked, but the fact that the officer assumed that just because her son was a young African American, chances are that he'd been arrested at least once. If this happens to your child or any child that you know, be sure and share this with mothers you may know. Don't take the situation lightly. Do something. Call the sergeant of the district you live in, who will guide you if you wish to file a complaint with the OPS. That is the Office of Professional Standards. Don't take it lightly. It will only get worse. That's why so many black men are incarcerated now. That's why all men of color are incarcerated. It's the new form of slavery. And guess what? We're paying for it. Inspirational Conversations with Shalom with Israel, a.k.a. Zelda Speaks. So we have a choice. We do not have to continue life as it is. We have a choice, we have a voice, and we can do something about it. And so we're going to do something about it as I bring on my next guest, my first guest, I should say, Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque, as soon as we come back from the 8 o'clock break. It is 2 minutes before the 8 o'clock hour, but I do want to welcome Lionel and thank you, Lionel, for joining us this morning as we talk about the Marines Corps Creed. Is it real, and how does it affect you?
Well, I want to say peace be with you, and glad once again to be able to share with you and your audience.
And I must tell our audience how excited I am to have you back on the show, because you are a man of many talents, and the one that I adore the most is how you break down the news that we are given and the movies that we are being programmed with. This is how I met Lionel when I was at another station, WJPC, back in the day. And I met Lionel at some community event, and he gave me a brochure, the Community Cultivation's brochure, and he told me he does movie reviews, and I'm a movie buff. I love movies. And once I had this conversation, I could not look at movies the way I currently do. And I want to thank you. Let me back that up. I should say I no longer look at movies the way I did. I look at them from a different perspective. So I want to thank you for that, Lion. And when we come back, we will get your input on what's really going on right now. So thank you for joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. We will be right back with our very own special guest, Lionel Abdul Haaque from Community Cultivation, speaking on the Marines Corps Creed. Is it real, and how does it affect you?
You are tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in this city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage, or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us breathe literary life into the South Side of Chicago.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Community and police need to come together again. Police need to walk the streets, get to know the citizens. They can ride the buses, the L, the subways, and once again, become the officer friendly we always hear about. Police are the front line between us and the criminal element. As mayor, I will begin program to assure they will get to know us as our neighbors.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
And thank you for joining us back here on blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks, and my guest today, Lionel Abdul Haaque. If you'd like to join the conversation, please feel free to give us a call at 515-605-9325. And please remember to press 1 in order to speak so that we can see and open your microphone for you. And as Naima said earlier, please don't wait until the last minute. We want you to be able to get your whole thought out. So remember to press 1 when you speak. Lionel, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention this morning. With Attorney Michael Cohen commented that his family and his country are his first priority. Break it down for us.
Well, I'd like to begin with a recitation of a couple of things that I think will really help to clarify. To begin with, this is a verse from the Holy Quran that I just opened the Quran just a little while ago on this page. And I was looking for something else, but when I found it, I just stopped right there. It says, "O you people, adore your guardian Lord, who created you and those who came before you, that you may have the chance to learn righteousness. Who has made the earth your couch and the heavens your canopy, and sent down rain from the heavens, and brought forth therewith fruits for your sustenance. Then set not up rivals unto Allah when you know the truth." The Lord's Prayer also says, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, and protect us from evil. For thine is the kingdom forever and ever." So this is the idea that I want to start with, because the Marine Corps Creed is that it says God, country, and family are first, number one. And this is important in the context of the idea of God being one alone, by himself, no partners, no associates. Nothing is like unto Allah, the Creator. And the basic admonition of all those who came as servants was the same. They said, do not worship anything, do not associate anything with God, the one God. That's why he's one. The idea of one is that you're not to confuse the idea with anything else. So this idea of the Marine Corps Creed is a part of indoctrination that is rooted in slavery and is now being applied and has been for quite some time for everybody to be enslaved.
Can you repeat that again? That it's really, repeat that.
It's an indoctrination. That it is a part of an indoctrination to associate, to confuse the idea of human devotion, human conscious, unconscious devotion to God, and associate that as part of with country, patriotism, and family devotion, family responsibility. And all of this is connected to the idea of worship and corrupting worship, because in order to exploit people, in order to enslave people, you have to take away that which they worship. You have to kill their devotional nature and transfer that spirit to the slave master. And so the association of God as an object of devotion is the main idea of slavery, to transfer them from God to the slave master. And the association of patriotism and the association of family is the way that it is done. Now, I want to say something else, and then we can have a discussion. The movie, The Bourne Identity, series of movies, is what got me started on this. I saw this movie when it first came out. The first one with Matt Damon. It reminded me of The Manchurian Candidate, which was first played by Frank Sinatra and then by Denzel, most recently. This is a story about both of the Manchurian Candidate and Bourne Identity is a story about a soldier, military soldier, because of his excellence and his devotion, his commitment to service, excels and is noticed by his superiors, who then promote him, so they say, or extract him into a special program to be a special asset for the government and assassin for the government. And but in the Manchurian Candidate, it was different in the sense that he was hypnotically conditioned. He was psychologically conditioned, although he did the same thing in Bourne Identity. But the point is this: he becomes a slave of the government, of the agency who controls him. And he is used by those hired as a hired assassin to kill people without question, without any concern, and then do it very efficiently. His assignment was his last assignment was to kill. Talking about this guy Matthew Damon. He was to kill an African leader who wasn't cooperating with American interests in his country. And in the scene where he was supposed to kill him, where he was actually in the process of killing him, the man had his children with him. It was three little children. He was playing with his children. And when he noticed, they didn't say a word. The scene was totally silent. No sounds was made. He looked into this man's eyes, this black man's eyes, who was in a very unique scene where his face was upside down or perpendicular to Matthew Damon's. His eyes were down, Matthew Damon's eyes were up. And it's actually an inverted pyramid. But it's a 6-pointed star with an inverted pyramid. But the point is that he put his first thought was not to save himself, but to save his children. He put his children, he slowly moved his child out of the range of fire and awaited Matthew Damon to kill him. But something happened to Matthew Damon when he looked in that man's eyes and saw his concern for his children. Something snapped in Matthew Damon, in the character. And he lost the will to kill this man. And he actually stumbled, and in that stumbling, the guard, a security guard, somebody came in, the man broke and went for a gun, and somehow Matthew Damon ended up falling into the ocean, losing consciousness, and the rest of the story goes on. But this is the point, that the man, when he looked in his eyes and saw his concern for his child, the human nature in Matthew Damon as a man who had not experienced that, who had lost consciousness with his fundamental desire as a father, his fundamental desire as a man to protect family, resurrected his consciousness, and he began to undo all the stuff that he had been programmed. And so my point is this, that this idea of God, country, and family, and Mr. Cohen actually left out the idea of God on purpose. He did not say God. He said his first priority was his family and his country. He didn't even say God. That wasn't even mentioned. And that was not an accident. That was by design.
Wow.
So this is the discussion, and we can open it up now from anybody else have any points.
Wow, that is food for thought. That is a breathful, and if you are just joining the conversation this morning, we're speaking with Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations, and the subject is the Marines Corps Creed. Is it real, and how does it affect you? As we go to the phone line, 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak. And we have on the line 1453. I'm sorry, 9753. And I think I accidentally did not deleted her. What's the word I'm looking for, Lionel? Accidentally cut her off. Hopefully she'll call back. young lady's name is Glenda, and she was on 9753. I do apologize for that, Glenda. Lionel, you can go ahead with your thoughts. I am, you know what? We really don't pay attention. You know, it just kind of comes and goes, things that are being said in the news. You know, you hear it and you don't hear it, but the fact that you pointed this out, I just love the way you break down the movie to make us think about the information that is being given to us, that we are being bombarded with, that we're being trained with. It's like we're in a box and things, we hear it and things just go over our head. We really don't pay attention to it because we're focused on other things. So I give thanks that you're conscious of this so that you can share this with our listeners.
Well, all praise due to Allah. I know for a fact that this has been a journey for me. I didn't always do this. This has been something that, you know, I think everybody has something that our Creator has for them to do, some talent, as if you will, some skill, something they can contribute. And by the grace of Allah, I have developed this. It's been something that I've been working on for more than 30 years. And inspired by Imam Warith bin Muhammad, may peace be upon him, who broke down for me in a lecture The Omen, the movie The Omen, not for me personally, but in a lecture. And that just changed my perspective on movies, and began to exercise this insight. I mean, insight is something that I think is a gift of faith. There's another verse in the Holy Quran that talks about people who try to figure out the secret meaning of things. And the Quran says that they do that, you know, to try to get the secrets of Scripture, because that's where the real media is. But those who really get it are those who are not really trying to get the secret, but are actually blessed to see things based upon their genuine concern to want to know and to understand.
Well, thank God for that. We've got a caller on the line, Lionel, 2596. Your mic is open. Thank you for joining us this morning on the Monday Morning Mindfulness. What's your name?
Good morning. Good morning. This is Lois here in Chicago. Just joining in on the
program
this morning. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I was listening to the Lord's Prayer being recited by our guest today, and I've always, you know, felt that until we really get it together when it comes to the Lord's Prayer, then our prayers are in vain. And we have only one way to thank God for just being alive, and I mean, if we don't speak it out of our mouths, you know, it can't be assumed. But anyway, I just feel that we have to continue to pray, and we must do what the Bible says. Even if we don't believe there's a signature in the Bible, there's no dates, there's no nothing, we all know God for ourselves. You know, He made us all the way He wanted us to be, and we all have to deal with that. So, love you all, and thanks for this opportunity.
Oh, well, thank you so much for calling and sharing that. Your thought, Lois.
Well, I would like to only simply say that I think we should read all the books. I think ignorance is bliss, and part of the scheme of those who want to exploit human beings is to divide and conquer. I believe every scripture, every messenger, every prophet, every sincere person should be respected and should be listened to, should be encouraged to express their sincere faith. And we should all sincerely study all the religions, all the major religions, and where they came from, their history, not just what they're saying today, but what they said in the beginning, especially when it comes to Islam, because what's going on now, what is popularized and what is represented as Islam today is a far cry from what it began. And that's important for people to understand.
Well, as you said, it's important that we read all the books. And I totally agree with you, because having been raised as a child in the Catholic Church, as I grew older, I began to have a problem with what I was hearing in church. It didn't make sense to me, and which led me to other experiences with the nation. Let me back up. After Catholicism, Baptist, Lutheran, Jehovah's Witness, the Nation of Islam, the Nation of Hebrew Israelites, Baha'i Temple. I have had an experience with all of those, and my grandmother once said to me, "Baby, you take what you need from the pot, and that which you don't need, you leave there." So I am most grateful that I was given the opportunity to extract from each religion, which is man-made, and at some point came to the realization that the Creator will speak to me directly through the sun and the moon and the stars and the trees and the earth's atmosphere. I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to go through each and every one of those religions and get to a point in my life where I'm okay not being or belonging to any sect in society, but just being at one with the Creator. And people will try to still categorize you because you don't fit into a spot. And that's okay, because everyone is not on the same level, on the same page in life. That's why we are all here to grow. But the fact is that we can all learn something from each religion, and we can learn something from each speech or presentation or movie in this matter. And I thank you for bringing that to our listening audience attention this morning. If you're just joined us, welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. We are starting your week off with mindfulness and stress relief sessions with Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque. The Marine Corps' creed, is it real? And how does it affect you? So how does that affect the average listener, Lionel?
Well, like I said, it's not just the Marine Corps creed. It's part of a ongoing, long-term effort to undermine faith, to destroy the miracle of humanity, which is our capacity to care and to respond to the needs of others. That the image of God, the image of God that we need to focus on is that of a compassionate, beneficent, kind, considerate, loving spirit that we ought to exercise in our humanity. That our humanity is akin and in tune with our Creator based upon how much we develop our humanity. And that is like a tuning mechanism. It's like a tuning fork. That the more you exercise that in yourself, seeking a closer relationship and closer understanding with your Creator, the stronger, the more intense, the louder that communication will get. And we are, and we're all responding to that spirit of humanity, of what it is to be human, to be a caring, concerned, conscientious, extremely intelligent in developing ways to serve that or to respond to those feelings. We can change this thing overnight. We could change this thing tomorrow.
Lionel. Someone just sent me a text and asked the question. So are you saying as part of our humanity, we are responsible for the brother or sister standing on the corner with a handout, and you see them there 5 days a week with a sign asking for money or what have you?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that he wouldn't be in that situation if we had been acting humanely before. The situation that exists with these problems in the world, the dope fiends, the killers, you know, there's a piece of music. I don't just do movies, but I also do music and culture in general. My whole focus, by the grace of Allah, is to understand the role of culture, true culture, in guiding and fulfilling human development. That is what culture is really supposed to be about, the human development. It is the mechanism by which we feed our future generations. It is what we teach them about what life is all about. It is through culture that we transmit our feelings into ideas that can then feed the future generations. And there's a piece by Carlos Santana called "Put Your Lights On," and it starts out by saying, then it says, "Oh, you killers," and then it says, "Oh, you lovers, put your lights on." But then it says, "Oh, you children," it says, "Keep your lights on," because the distinction is that this world, this so-called culture, which is what I call a culture, OCCULTURE, that this culture is designed not to grow and evolve our human spirit, but to assault and kill our human spirit. And that is what produced the dope fiends. That is what produced the killers. That's what produced these problems. People have not been fed from day one that which will truly nourish their spirit. We've been told that human beings are born in sin, that our nature is sinful. That ain't true. Nothing that God created is sinful by nature. Nothing. Not the birds, not the flowers, not the insects. They all do exactly what they're told, what their nature tells them to do. Human beings do also, but we are misled, bamboozled, run amok, and led astray by wolves in sheep's clothing who claim to be representing God, who claim to be representing culture, but they actually working for a different enterprise.
Well, someone always has a hidden agenda, and we have to be aware of that. And we will speak on that very shortly after we come back from a commercial break. If you are just joining us on the Monday Morning Mindfulness, stay close, and we'll be taking your calls. You can call in at 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And we do have a caller on the line, and that would be Mama AZ, and we will take your call very shortly, right after these important messages.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. A previous mayor destroyed the great assets in the middle of the night, forcing corporate and private aircraft to land elsewhere. Jobs and revenue was lost, and convenient access to the business in the downtown area is gone. As mayor, I fully intend to reopen Meigs Field.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Mayor.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Hi, this is Viata, your holistic life coach, and I'll be joining the Female Solution family every Friday morning to assist you in your journey to abundant health. Together, we can reduce the stress, which most health professionals agree is a major contributor to disease. Every Friday, I'll be sharing the knowledge I've gained from over 20 years in the holistic health field. The word holistic simply means taking into consideration mind, body, and spirit to balance and heal your human self. I am truly excited to be able to serve you on the Female Solution.
Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
Oh man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark.
Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456. and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
And the number you're calling in this morning is 515-605-9325. And remember to press 1 if you would like to speak. We are going to the caller line, last four numbers, 5474, Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us this morning. 5474.
Rising. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for calling. We can hear you fine.
I am so grateful. Grand Risings to your guests, to your listening audience. Brother Haaque, thank you for your knowledges. I kind of tuned in late, and I'll make this short so I can listen. I also thank you for everything that you said in the past 5 minutes. It makes you think. And I want to ask you, Brother Haaque, are you aware of this gentleman by the name of Dane Calloway? I'm curious.
No, ma'am.
Okay, look him up on the YouTube. For about 2-3 years, he's been coming across my desk, and it was something that you said that kind of triggered the question, are you aware of him? So please, your listening audience, everybody, just go up on the YouTube, on the contraption, and look up Dane Calloway. And that's my word of wisdom. Just thank you for what I heard you say. So I'm going to go back to the archives. And you have a most blessed day, everybody. Thank us.
Thank you so much, Mama Z. We greatly appreciate that. We thank you for taking the time out of your schedule today to be with us and to share this. We will definitely look that up. We have another caller on the line, 2596. Thank you for joining us this morning on Monday Morning Mindfulness. What's your name? Caller 2596, you're live on the air. Well, we will move on. Thank you so much for joining us. We have another caller on the air with ending in 3304. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Grand Rising. This is Sister Maika. How are you?
Good morning, Grand Rising to you, Sister Maika. Thank you for joining us. What's your comment?
Seems like I've been at the right time. I came in when you were discussing your experience with the different religions, and I must say that it takes a lot of courage to step outside of the known. And so you're a very courageous female, I see, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that sharing, and I would like to fellowship with you more. And it's really a blessing to meet a sister who, because religion was a great enslaver of females. So and still is. So when you step outside of that, that means that you're free. So thank you, my sister, for being who you are. I so appreciate you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. And thank you for being the spirit that you are, because when I first joined the Female Solution lineup and I got a chance to look at the pictures, and I saw your picture and I said, wow, I don't know this sister, but that's me. I see a lot. I don't even know you know anything about you, but I felt your spirit through the photo, and I was like, that's me. I don't know who she is. I'm going to listen to her show, but that is me, so we need to chat. Are you coming to Chicago?
Yes, we do. I'm in Chicago.
Oh, my God. How did I miss that?
I've been on vacation.
Oh.
I've been on vacation for about all of spring, but I'm back. Okay. Yes, my sister.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are one.
Yes, ma'am. Now, we're meeting on the 17th after the book show with Vieta, right?
Right, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me and you.
Yes, ma'am. We can do that. You can do that.
Right.
Naima has my
and
number,
greetings
please.
to your guests, too. Greetings to your guests. Thank you so much for what you shared also, Brother Lionel. I've enjoyed this part that I'm listening to.
I'm looking here. Did I accidentally mute his microphone? His number. Lionel's last four numbers. I got Maika. I think I accidentally muted Lionel's
during the break, maybe.
Yeah, I think I accidentally. I can't remember what is Lionel's last four numbers.
He just
Maika.
said he was still here. He just said he was still here.
I didn't hear him. Oh, there he is. Okay.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was saying.
Because what you said about culture is real, and the thing about culture is it's passed through the female.
Yes.
And so, because females have been under this oppression, we have not been able to give a true culture to our children. We've given them a culture of enslavement. That's why the jails are full of our children, because a semblance of our slavery is passed on to our children. That's where we have to stop. We have to free ourselves as females so that we as the first teachers can give a true teaching of freedom.
Amen.
Nobody is enslaving us.
I only wanted to make a point of something you said about religion is the biggest enslaver of women. I want to clarify, and I appreciate what you're saying, because what is represented as religion to me today is the wolves in sheep's clothing. This is not true religion. I don't care whether you talk about Islam, Christianity. These people have long since taken over what the prophets and the messengers brought, and used it in the name of the devil, really, to take the truth and hold back the real wisdom and give the people something else. And that is what has been the problem in the modern world. People think they're being guided, but they're being misguided. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Muhammad, in the name of Moses, in the name of God, they are being grossly misled. And the truth that I've been blessed to understand is that in all of those teachings, you can't have a lie if you don't have the truth. The truth is in there. And by studying all the books, by sincerely applying yourself to the acts of worship, the disciplines of charity, prayer, fasting, just being a good person, moving to try to change things and make things better, God will guide you and strengthen you and give you the understanding to communicate these ideas so that everybody can be uplifted. And that's the object. Get people to appreciate learning. And the greatest learning is the experience of doing good and practicing sincere worship service, worship activities.
I totally agree with you in terms of what I found by studying and being a part of different religious groups is that what permeates every religion is principles. And but these groups, they perpetuate personality worship. When you pull the principles out, the principles are the same regardless of what religion you are studying under.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Wow. Is that not awesome? You hit the nail on the head when you said that, because so many times I talk to my fellow worshipers, and they are simply glorifying their pastor or prophet, and that's all good that you see the good in the person that is guiding you spiritually, but even more important are the principles. And we need to focus more on the principle than the personality. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, I know I'm going to get some flack for making that statement, but I can back it up. So
it's the truth.
Bring it on. Bring it on. That's what I'm here for.
Because, when you deal with the principles, that's what, like Yeshua or Jesus was a principled person, and he taught principles.
Yeah.
So when and he wanted us to marvel not at the things that I do, because you're going to do greater things. That means that when you take on these principles, all that you are can be expressed. I'm just a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord. Anybody who comes into the house of the Lord is more than a doorkeeper. I'm the lowest in the house of the Lord.
Amen. Say that.
Yes. So, and even in our schools, when they took prayer out of school, if the pastors understood principles, we would have put principles in the school. But we left it vacant, and now everything comes in, because nature abhors a void. But yes, principle is the essential thing. That builds character.
Yes, it does. And the powers that be really they don't want character. They want us to be like the Manchurian Candidate, robots.
Well, sometimes we look for an enemy that sometimes people really just don't know. They are lacking knowledge. They can only take you so far. You think they can take you further. If they were principles, then they could take you into principles. But lacking principles, they can't take you there, so they can only give you where they are. That's their lack. But it's not intentional. It's just what they are. If you don't know, you can't teach what you don't know.
You sure can't. That's for sure.
Well, thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate both of you today.
Thank you so much, sister. We will be talking.
Peace be with you.
Lionel, you were saying something?
Well, I was trying to get in there, but that's okay. It's just that, the idea of principle is what all religions teach, not just Jesus. I think the reason why I so strongly identify with the religion of Islam is that the example of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, is the most recent and the most well documented history of all the messengers, all the servants. In the history of the world. And it is that example that is not being represented in people's understanding of the religion. There's nobody who stands taller than Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, in terms of his principled life and his principled example. And that's why I say it's important for people to study all the books in his history, not just what they say today, but go back and study the history, where it started, how it started, and what the original people gave their devotion to.
Amen. I agree. We've got another caller on the line, 0639 from Decatur, Georgia. Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us this morning. What's your name?
Yes, good morning, Grand Rising, Assalamu Alaikum. My name is Amina, and I'm calling from Decatur, Georgia.
Thank you for calling, Amina.
Yes, and I am so in agreement with what you're saying, because that is how many of us have lived our lives. You know, as you were mentioning, you know, the indoctrination is what is uppermost in most people's mind. The way they were indoctrinated, we were taught not to question. Some of us don't question, don't ask, you know, those in authority, or whether they're right or wrong. And a lot of times, as you were mentioning, they have been, or some of them have been, clothing. And you know, this system that we're under perpetuates this. If you don't study and you know, attain knowledge about faith. And what I was wanting to say is that you bring to mind that we have to have a relationship with our Creator, whatever scripture we believe in. Live and apply your faith. That's the key. You know, you can say you're anything. You can represent or outwardly say, but the principles, the application of your faith is what is going to take you to the next level of where the Creator wants you to be. You know, if you're saying you're something, whatever that is, whatever that the scripture that you adhere to, and you're lying, cheating, stealing, corrupt, murdering, you know, killing spirit, because people can kill your spirit if you allow them to. If you don't have a relationship, with Allah, and this is where the key is. If you don't have a relationship, people, you know, if you depend on what man presents, they will destroy you. And I have personal, first-hand experiences with that. So I thank Allah. So what you're saying, brother, it is so very important. You know, I look at my particular life, and I'm gonna be brief because someone else may want to come on. But you know, I look at my life that Allah brought me to this path of Al-Islam willingly. I willingly came. And that's a perfect example of how, as they say, Allah makes Muslims. And this could apply to the Christian or the person of the Jewish faith or any other faith, that they adhere to. I look at how, the family of origin that I came from, so dysfunctional. But everybody was so religious and dogmatic. They're very dogmatic with it, But yet there was so much pain, dysfunction in the everyday life. So I knew that had to be Allah that pulled me out of that.
Well, thank God.
It could be nothing but. So that's an example of having real relationship with Allah.
Amen.
Having a relationship, as some of our Christian brethren say, you have a relationship with God. I have had a relationship with Allah because I've had a life where if you look on the surface on paper, and in a few months, in a few weeks, I will be 62 years old. And I look at
when's your birthday?
July 17th. July 17th. I will be 60. Yes, ma'am. And I thank Allah.
Thank you so much for calling and sharing that. We've only got about 6 minutes, and we've got 2 or 3 more callers. So we greatly appreciate you, Sister Amina, for calling this morning.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. I'll hang up and listen.
Well, alaikum salam. We're going to go to the phone line. We've got another caller here at 3304. Your mic is open. 3304, Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Father, that's Nikki. I've already been on. This is Maika's number.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go. Thank you so much. Go to 2596. That's 2596. Grand Rising, thank you for joining us this morning. Area code 872, ending in 2596. And looks like you're moving around. We've got limited time here, so we're going to have to go to the next caller. 59. You hear us? I don't think you can.
I can hear you, but I've already spoken. This is Lois.
So sorry.
I've already spoken. That's okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me go to the next caller, see what happens. My area code 336. Well, Lionel, we've got
let me jump in here at one point.
Yes, sir.
I want to make another point. In this review I did of the Born Identity, I think I started out by saying that I started working on it when it started. I didn't finish it until a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked on this for about 10 years, and I think it's significant for me that right after I published it is when Michael Cohen made these statements about his first loyalty, his first priority is his family and his country. So I thought that was very timely that they would come out at the same time after I had worked on that review for so long, and then have that statement become such a pervasive news item. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very significant. But the other part of this story is the thing that made me associate it as a con, a way of tricking people. The idea of associating God with your country and your family, bringing them up to the level of God, or bringing God down to the level of your family and your country. That is a big mistake. that is a big mistake, and it is not by accident. It's by design. Just like the game 3-card Monte is designed to confuse you. The object is to confuse you by the association of others, and that's something that has been a big problem.
Well, we have been confused, as Brother Malcolm X would say, bamboozled, and guided into the wrong direction for a very long time. That's why we have this format here, blogtalkradio.com, the Female Solution, to bring us all into awareness and a higher consciousness. And we thank you for the work that you do to show us the way, to show us how we are being kept in the dark by the media, by mainstream media. And it is alternative media, just like yourself, who make a difference. So we appreciate that.
Well, the whole idea of a democracy is to have people who are enlightened, informed, and ignorant people. The reason why our situation is the way it is, we've been made to believe that ignorance is bliss, and that it's all about having fun. And
it's anything but that.
Well, I don't have a problem with having fun, but everything has a priority. And right now we need more serious, intellectual, serious thinking, sincere people.
Yes, we do. And we thank you for being the sincere individual that you are. And we're about out of time here, but we'd like you to give a closing thought to our listeners on what is it that they can do in order to continue the process of learning and not be bamboozled by the movies that we see, and how to take a deeper look into that.
Put your faith into practice. Well, faith without works is dead. You have to exercise your faith and obey
to put your faith in a place where it needs to be. And how can we do that? Daily.
Are you serious?
Female-solution.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Lionel?
On the Female Solution Facebook page.
Yeah, there's something else there's some other radio information coming across. I can hardly hear you.
That's our ending. We have to play our ending at the end of the show. So thank you so very much, Lionel, for being a part of the show today.
I appreciate you, too. Peace be with you.
Peace and blessings be with you and all of our listeners. Make it a miracle-minded day, and know that whatever you are confronted with, it is there only to make you stronger, to make you a better person. Be sure and visit the website, higherlearningnetwork.org, for updates, as well as if you are a diabetic, go to diabeticdonut.com, or if you know of someone who is diabetic or borderline diabetic, as I was for 10 years, there's some good information there for you. If you'd like to contact me during the week, 312-409-6619 or ZeldaSpeaks.com. Go to the website and you can send me an email and we can stay in touch. Until then, stay on purpose, stay empowered. Stay tuned to your next Monday morning mindfulness, a mindfulness stress relief session with Zelda Speaks.
South Africa, Ngiyabonga, Senegal, Geret, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakkur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.